What's up, Packers fans? Aaron Negler here with some extra cheese on Cheesehead TV after the second open practice from OTAs. Always some fun stuff to talk about and nitpick over and blow up into something it isn't. That's what we do. We're Packers fans. We devour every little morsel. Obviously, the headline coming out of this practice is David Bakhtiari looking good. David Bakhtiari practicing off to the side with the rehab group jumping and doing drill work. Trying not to get too excited. And then you have a bunch of young pups making some plays, like Bailey Gaither. Deep post route, diving. You can't overthrow the kid. Apparently, Blake Bortles probably tried. It's nice on a day where, yes, none of the starting wide receivers, the top 5 wide receivers in the depth chart, all still missing. It is voluntary, so no harm, no foul there. But it's nice to see a young kid step up and make a few catches, including a big bomb over the middle where, yes, he did beat Kevin King. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to focus on King's competition. Eric Stokes apparently sticking like glue to everybody who comes in his path. That's what you like to hear. Now, yes, they're in shorts. It's not football. It's not even full speed most of the time. But they did do some team stuff, and Jordan Love got to go through progressions with a line in front of him. Baby steps. That's what you like to see. But it's just fun to have football to talk about, baby. And that's what we're here to do. Hello to everybody in the comments section. Good to see everybody. Cyril, what's up, man? I see you. TKM is here, of course. TKM. Rodgers on the Madden cover. Wouldn't that be a mind fuck? They put him in a Packers uniform, and then they'd have to reproduce a bunch of covers because he'd be traded, and then, they'd have to put Jordan Love on the cover. No, I'm kidding. Tunyon for the win. Oh, man. Guy's just coming on like gangbusters. Loved his press availability. Man, talk about a guy who just gets it and wants to be there and wants to improve each and every day. Love seeing it. Love the awareness of Tunyon knowing, like, look, I arrived last year, one would say. You could easily say that, scoring 11 touchdowns, but the guy knows he's got to improve, and he wants to get better. Love that mentality. Patrick, thanks for the super chat. What's up, man? Go Pack, go. Simply stated. Love it. Hello from New York. Hope things are going well up north. Thoughts on the wide receiver situation? It really isn't a situation until these guys miss something that's mandatory, which they haven't. So, they're missing voluntary workouts. That's the situation. It's interesting that no one talks about the corner situation where Jair Alexander hasn't shown up, but that doesn't get any headlines because it's voluntary. It's all good, man. Old Timer Dave, what's up, man? How are you doing? Scale of Ahmad Carroll to Shakira on Stokes' hips. What is it? That's a good question, Blake. I won't know until I get to camp late summer, late July, early August, but I am interested to find out. But from all accounts, this afternoon, kid was sticking on everything. That's what you like to hear. To be expected, isn't it? He's faster than anyone in the team, including MVS and Jair. Javier, if you're talking about Gaither, he's a speed demon. There's no doubt about that. I don't know, faster than anybody else on the team. I don't know what his 40 was. Stokes sticking with people because of his speed. If that's what you're talking about, that speed doesn't mean you can cover. I mean, we were just talking about Mike Carroll. Just because you can outrun everybody doesn't mean that you can cover everybody. I will ask about the hips until you can answer it. Sounds good, Blake. Let me see. What can you say to comfort a Packers fan in Brazil right now? I'm anxious if Love will be better than Trubisky. Oh, just relax. There's a lot of ball game left. And the fact that he isn't being thrown right into the fire, it wasn't his rookie year, is already worlds better than what Trubisky was asked to do. The Packers have a philosophy, for good or ill, of developing their quarterbacks, and that's what they're doing with Jordan. And if he has to play in week 1, they will tailor the offense to make him and put him in good positions, as best position as possible. At some point, though, he's going to take his lumps, and it's going to be hard to watch. There's zero doubt about it, if and when he has to play. As a young quarterback in the NFL, that's just the gig. But better than Trubisky? I think if he continues down the path of development that the Packers have set out in front of him, yeah, I think he'll be better than Trubisky. But there's a long way to go. Same practice squad process. Cyril, nothing's official yet, but that's the scuttlebutt. I know I saw that from what's his name? Tom Pelissero from NFL Network. Put that out there a little earlier this afternoon that talks between the PA and the league are ongoing. And yes, it does sound like many of the practices that they put in place because of COVID will be sticking around, including the 3-week, and then you can bring anybody back from IR at any time after 3 weeks. I absolutely love that rule. I'm glad to hear they're potentially sticking with it because I think it makes a world of sense in the game of football. Some of the other things, expanded numbers on the practice squad, et cetera, are still being talked about. So I think that's good. I think everybody really liked, both sides really liked the maneuverability that gave GMs last year. I know Brian took full advantage of it throughout the season. So here's hoping that sticks because I think that was a great addition to the game. Stokes is signed. Well, that's good. Packers signed Stokes. There's only one dude left. You notice I wasn't sweating it. I think Amari Rodgers is the only one who hasn't signed yet then. So happy to get Stokes under contract. You guys didn't really think they weren't going to get them under contract, did you? I know they're in salary cap purgatory and they're having all those issues with the cap, but they're going to sign their guys. Like, it is literally the first week of June. Like, those guys are getting signed. Don't worry about that. I know it's not mandatory, but the receivers have been there in the past years. Do you think there will be negative feelings in the locker room? I've always loved the players seem to be family, and now it seems more business. Jill, I would be absolutely shocked if it had any kind of ripple effect into the locker room once things ramp up and matter, i.e. during camp. I don't think it's much more than anything. I know, like you mentioned, yes, the receivers have been there in the past. The NFLPA hasn't pressured players to skip voluntary workouts in the past. That happened this year. And obviously there was a lot of headlines made because of the injury out in Denver, and that happened away from the facility. Don't doubt that obviously there's a ton of guys on the Packers roster who have workout bonuses, and that is why they're there. Hell, Kenny Clark straight up admitted that last week. But I think there's a lot of circumstances surrounding why some of these guys are not there. And I don't think there's going to be quote unquote bad feelings for anyone in the locker room because they weren't there. They made the choice not to be there for a voluntary practice and a voluntary set of practices. Just don't see it happening. I don't think you have anything to worry about as far as the vibe and the togetherness in the locker room. Tunyon said LaFleur reached out to him directly. I think he did that with others and they ignored it. Leave it to a Packer fan to take this awesome story and turn it negative. Is it possible? Sure. Is it possible that someone told LaFleur, go kick rocks? I want to go be at my brother's wedding, or, you know, I got something to do with my agent, or I'm doing a promotional appearance somewhere and I don't want to. Yeah, all of that is possible. But we know that Tunyon was like, yeah, I'm in. And that's great. Oh, you guys got to spin everything negatively. I just don't understand it. Extra cheese on everything. There you go, Krista. That's what I'm talking about. I can't wait for 12, 17, 33 are tearing up the league this year, and all these drama stories are behind us. Anton, that's the dream, right? That's the dream. And I think 17 and 33 will be in a Packers uniform. I still think Rodgers is there after some drama at the start of camp, but we'll see. Maybe he retires and says sayonara, and then it's the Jordan Love show. In which case, I'm on board. Bailey Gaither, let's go! Adam, this is how legends are born. The legends of June. Hey, I'm pumped for the kid. I love that he made a big play. Love that he got down the seam. Love it all, baby. And it's June. They're in shorts. It doesn't mean much, but it's fun. I love it. And the idea that, yeah, there are guys who are not there, which gives him an opportunity to turn some heads. That's how you make a squad. Now, obviously, he's got to show out. He has got to ball out on special teams to even have a shot of making this roster. But, you know, their wide receiver situation being what it is, as far as not having many under contract after this year, every little bit helps. Anything that can turn a coach's eye, make a scout look at you, make the GM go, okay, it's only going to help. But he's, like I said, he's got to ball out on special teams. That's his path to the roster. No doubt about it. Cyril, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Thanks, man, for the extra cheese. Of course. Thank you for the support. Thanks for hanging out. Matt LaFleur said he talked to all the wide receivers. Yes, Don, but we don't know if he made a personal entreaty to them as he did to Tunyon. That was the question. Yes, last week he said he spoke to each of them individually and said that he did not hear of any kind of collusion. But of course, no guy is going to sit there and go, you know what, coach, we're all thinking of staying out together. Oh, did I just give up collusion to you, the man I'm colluding against? These are all the parlor games that we like to play on the outside. We have no idea what was said internally unless they offer it up. And at this point, they haven't. Dom Capers to Mike Pettin to Joe Barry. Will we ever have a dominant defense? Give us hope on Barry. Love the energy. Guys love playing for him. None of that means much, though. He's got a good scheme. We got good talent. He hasn't had talent the other 2 stops along the way as far as being a defensive coordinator. That's all the hope I got for you. Other than that, he's got to prove it with his coaching and his calling and general product on the field. And that will be a work in progress for some time. That's all I got for you. Brad, thanks for the super chat. Caught Next Live. Been a while since I did. Go Pack Go. What's up, Brad? Thanks for the super chat, man. Thanks for hanging out. No Rodgers equals thunder and lightning. And how much thunder do you think? It's funny you asked that, Jake. I'm sure you saw A.J. Dillon's availability just a little while ago where he was talking about the thunder and lightning is obvious, the big guy and a little darting guy, but both of them can do what the other one is quote unquote famous for. We've seen Aaron Jones, get those tough yards and be a physical runner. And we've seen glimpses of AJ in the passing game and being able to be nimble on his feet and make guys miss. So I do think they're going to be utilizing both of those guys, no matter who's at quarterback. Now, could they possibly lean a little bit more onto the running game, into those talents if Aaron Rodgers isn't there? Yes, of course. But I think you're going to see a lot of both of them, regardless of who's under center in 2021. Artashes 555. Thanks for the super chat. Hello from Russian Packers fans. Go Pack Go. What's up? Thank you so much for tuning in and saying hello. Go Pack Go, man. Hello from New York. Mike Malone, thanks for the super chat. Seems like Rodgers' drama started when we got rid of Pettin. Is he scared to face Barry's new electric defense in practice? That's what I'm telling myself. That's it. You've unlocked it. How did I not see it before? Of course, the defense he has traditionally struggled against, other than last year. But, last year it wasn't being called by Vic Fangio, who has been a bit of a nemesis for Rodgers. How did I not put it together before, Mike Malone? Thank you for your service. More catches for Joan this year? That's a good question, Danny. I think so. I would suspect so. I think they'll draw up more for him. But I think it's going to be really opponent dependent and what they think they can take advantage of week by week. And I think it makes a world of sense to get him more involved in the passing game. And you saw stretches last year where that happened, but I think it may be a tick. I don't think it's going to be some huge explosion, but I do think you'll see him in the passing game more, especially when you've got a big bruiser and A.J. Dillon to kind of maybe even stick in the backfield and then motion Aaron out into the slot or something. I love that idea. Brett, thanks for the super chat. Who are you most surprised is not at OTAs? I was going to say Jair Alexander, but I'm really not surprised because it's voluntary. Would you show up if it was voluntary? I know I'm a little surprised Devontae's not there because of the $500,000 workout bonus that he's apparently punting on. That one surprises me a little bit. But other than that, not really anybody. Who is my favorite non-Packer player? Ooh, David, good question. All time or like currently? Currently, it's probably Akeem Hicks with the Bears, which sucks because he's with the Bears, but I think he's an amazing player. Love watching him play the game. All time? Ooh, man, that would be a tough one. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I mean, leaping to mind is Barry Sanders because he was absolutely freaking amazing to watch on a football field. He was a magician and just absolutely jaw-droppingly incredible pretty much every time he touched the ball. So other than when he was ripping up the Packers defense, other than the one playoff game where they held him to -2 yards, that was a great day. I would say Barry Sanders is probably my favorite. I'm surprised Funches isn't there since he hasn't played in years. Yeah, but he still knows how to play the game. It's not like he's forgotten how to play football, and he hasn't forgotten what the fundamentals are. Now, does he need sharpening those fundamentals? Yes, of course. And I think you'll see him in attendance next week, most likely during mandatory minicamp. Tell you what, though, if these receivers skip mandatory minicamp, then it's a story. But right now, it's nothing. It ain't a story. How many rookie offensive linemen do you expect to start week 1? That's a good question. I think it really depends on if Bakhtiari's in there or not. I would probably say 1 because it'd be Myers at center. I think they'll stick with Patrick at right guard, Turner at right tackle, and then presumably Bakhtiari and Jenkins at left tackle and left guard. But if Bakhtiari is not ready and they have to slide Jenkins out, I still think it's only one rookie because I think most likely, this is not set in stone. We haven't even seen these guys in pads yet. But I think most likely Runyon would slide in to left guard, the second-year player. So, yeah, I think there's a good shot. Myers has been the guy at center, the 2 practices we've seen that were open. So I think there's a good shot that they're going to give him every crack at being the starting center week 1. But yeah, even if David's not in there, I still think he'll be the lone rookie. Now, I say all that sitting here on June 2nd. These guys put pads on, somebody jumps up, someone turns some heads, anything's possible. Any one of those guys could make the jump and maybe displace a Lucas Patrick or a Runyon. But, until we have something to go on in that regard, I think that's the kind of the lay of the land at the moment as it is. Nags, if not The Wire, what's your go-to rewatchable show? Funnily enough, it's so funny you asked that because I am literally rewatching The Wire as we speak, during the last couple of weeks. Deadwood, I can rewatch Deadwood a million times, and Mad Men. Love Mad Men. Those are my 2 probably that I jump to the most, and the first season of True Detective. I haven't seen any updates on Amari Rodgers. How's he doing? I mean, just because you don't get tweeted about doesn't mean you're not, doing well in practice. Lots of times today, it seemed that Jordan Love was checking down a lot, so there may not have been a ton of opportunities for Amari down the field. But, some weeks, like last week, he got a lot of pub. This week, a little quieter. That's the nature of the wide receiver position. I still think he's going to be a formidable weapon when the season arrives. But long way to go. Still a young player. And plus, making plays and shining when the shorts are on is a whole different world than actually doing it when the pads come on and people start hitting and things start getting a little tougher. And then you get into a preseason game, you get tackling into the thing, and a long way to go. Levi, thanks for the super chat. Who will be the biggest surprise cut? I don't know. Then it wouldn't be a surprise if I knew it. I don't think there's going to be kind of any Josh Sittons, if that's what you're intimating or asking. But I mean, maybe someone like Josh Jackson, but I don't think that'd be a surprise. I think maybe Lucas Patrick if some of these interior linemen show out. But again, I don't think that's a real possibility, but that would be a surprise. Well, those are 2 that leap to mind. Mayor of Easttown. Yeah, Brett. I haven't had a chance to rewatch it. I just got done watching it for the first time. But it was a great show. I really liked it. Melissa, what's up? Enjoy your lunch break. Aaron of Titletown. What's up with the dark green background with white text on Cheesehead TV? This isn't the 90s anymore. Calvin, we do that literally to make you mad. Because guess what? 1 out of every 5 million people on this earth get bothered by it. And we leave it there just to bother you. It's that simple. Because literally no one else has a problem with it. 1 out of every 5 billion people get upset and write us and say, why is it blah, 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 blah. We literally could have changed it. We thought about changing it when we did the last redesign. But we kept it. Because A, we like it, and it's our website. I know. And also, just to make you mad. So, mission accomplished. Thanks for verifying. Not even reading that one. Who's been my biggest camp crush that didn't pan out over the years? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Robert Ferguson, I loved in training camp back in the day. And then he he teased you with some of his talent during the regular season with Favre, but he never really put it together. I don't know, man. There have been a few. Charles Lee back in the day, really liked him. That didn't really work out. I don't know. Yeah, there have been a few. I think of recent vintage, I can't really think of too many guys that I was like, oh man, this guy's amazing, and then he just didn't pan out. Yeah, I don't know. Those are 2 that leap to mind though. Obviously, those are a while ago though. Isaiah, what's up, man? NFL Films showed 98 Monday Night Football game of Packers and Vikings last night. I forgot how awesome our D-line was. Gilbert, Reggie, Vonnie Holiday. Wow. I mean, those were the days, man. Those were the days. Was that the Mike Tice team? Man, I love to hate that team. Jeff Janis. Oh God, no Jeff Janis talk. Has Goody snuck over to Corey's house for a beer yet? No, not yet, Paul. He's keeping it low key, but I have zero doubt we'll hear from Brian sooner rather than later, whether it's at the beer fridge or at the podium. But it's going to be time for Brian to talk soon enough. Matt, thanks for this super chat, super sticker. Thanks for the support. All right, everybody, I'm going to have to get going. I can't thank you enough for hanging out and talking Packers, OTAs, what have you. Please join me for Packers Daily, Monday through Friday. I'll be back tomorrow morning. I know I had originally said I was probably going to do 9 o'clock on Thursday, but that was incorrect. I will be at 10, the regular time, 10 a.m. tomorrow, Thursday morning. So be on the lookout for that. Check out all the latest on Cheesehead TV. In the meantime, please do me a monster favor and hit like on this video. Subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV. We are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. Go Pack Go.